The king of shit. In our ages, there's a lot of people or a lot of kids have a really nice nickname. Some of them name like Mouse, Mine Rose, Jack, Stephanie, and a lot of. I think it's okay. But really, do you know what is my name? And who am I? Yes, as people know about. The king of the shit. Can you imagine that a name like that? The king of the shit, that's nickname. Oh my goodness, just want to follow this type of name and hear that it's not easy. All of this is my father. It's because of him. And because of him and his garden. But please do not understand wrong about me. In my opinion, my father is really amazing and really I'm proud of him. Only him, just when I was born, I can't see my mother's face. Only him just teach me and make me become like this. All of his, all of theirs. He really loves the garden, loves to growing vegetable and a lot of another things like tomato or like beans. The garden is his pride and his pleasure. Every year he joined the contest and every time he get the champion because he can grow all of this is a biggest tomato or biggest tofu, really big or very delicious. All of his vegetable is very special type of the sea, usually very very different and special. And for one time he grow a big tomato which is up 4 of the men just can heavy and carry that to the test. All of his fruits and all of his vegetable is so big and so delicious. I just eat it. For example, one day we have a new tofu that I eat for 3 days. 2 of us, 3 days, do not waste a little of that. Please believe me. I do not lying. Please. That's really. All of my garden is all the way full of vegetable. All of vegetable. He have the news and like vegetable fruits or every like sign or codes. Caring about the signs. He know that what he used the type of shit for this. Yes. For example, there's a sheet of type 24 called trees, There's my father pick a lot of type sheet to use for making the vegetable and vegetable or fruits grow up very well. For example, my father is using the 22 type, the type of 22, which is 3, no, I don't want to really say that. Oh, but really, that's so not good. 3 box of cow shit, 1 box of horse shit, the big these things and the mixture of 14 with these and 3 of, 3 of pig shit and 2 of, oh my goodness, that's making confused. Now I really have to say just the type of it and I don't want to really say the after way. That's make me feel confused because all of that is just about shit. Come on. Okay, so what my father is using is the type 22. Yes, remember that. And my father used all of the shit that they can know. From the duck to the emu to the kangaroo or maybe snake. A lot of that. And guess, can you do that like a guess? Who have to bring that for him? Of course, you are not wrong if you think that's me. All of the weekend, I usually have to go for finding the shit every week and never have the situation outside. My house is in the centers of London. And I usually have to pick a really big car. Not really. It's like things that you can carry some difficult and it's like a box. And all the things, I just use that and bring to home. Here, I have to take a lot of shit for in this. It have to be fresh. Can you imagine that's fresh shit? But now this is a story about me. So I won't be able to laugh. You know, this is so bad. My father usually say, the ware that is fresh is the best. Please choose it for me, my son. You help me a lot. Yes. So when my father say that, I usually take a big chain going out of the city and take the shit for him. Please really make me confused. And I never go alone. Yes, actually, you mean alone, but no, I'm not. As I have been slave of more than 1,000 of flies and mosquito. Yes, imagine that. Besides me, more than 1,000 of flies and mosquitoes. I have a feel that all of the cities is looking at me and the flies. From this day, my nickname is start from one in the Noel, the Christmas. My times and my boss of my father. Of course, my father have a work, and so that's right. That's why he have a boss. Yes, and the boss of my father is really a good with garden. But of the product of him, lose all of my father's product. Why? Yes, because he don't have the son just go to take the shit for the father. So that's why my mother have a new type, a new amazing and new really good, ideas for the Christmas. He want to present, he want to have a gift for his boss just in Noel for a really, really amazed boss and was surprising of him. I have to go find the big cars of shit to give him. My father told me, you just can take the shit besides his fragile and make his favorite and surprise. Sometimes I can go upside. No, please, my dad. How can I do that in Christmas? I can't. There's no, please. But really nothing can be interesting. My father's stuck a hand up and said, oh, Greg, I told you a lot of time. Can you help if you can't help me? Yes, I do for you. I worry about you and I take care of you a lot of times from you was a child. Now just this small thing and you can help me? Well, Greg, please. Yes, so that my name is Greg, Greg. And of course, as my father say that, I usually have to do it for him and go. I don't want to be forgiven in this type of Christmas. I push the second car going really, really early. Just in 2 o'clock. No, 3. Just sorry. When I want to present, all of the present from Christmas, I haven't opened. I want to done this job before everyone is waking up. But that's not able. All of the kids in the cities get up really early. They take a lot of bike and a lot of new things they have present in the Christmas and go in me behind me and say, all of the people and all of the kids have say with the bad words and I don't really want this to happen. That's so be hated use. They laugh a lot. Hey, all of you, go there and see the Christmas Greg going for. Yes, they laugh very loudly. I just really confused and really shy. They are really, really crowded. More than 20s. Oh, the king of the shit. The king of the shit is Greg. One of the kids shouted. Another shouted, the king of the shit. Ah! And a lot of people laugh. They all say, shit, king of the shit, Greg. Yes, really tell the truth with you. That's right time. I just want to go down in the land beside the earth and don't want to see anyone more. I walk like run All of the shit is going out of the road. I don't care. Really, I just can go to my father's boss in the gate. Yes, I take all of the shit in the car and fresh. Every taking on the sun, really yard of him. And maybe I think my father can be really, really pleased and really say thank. Yes, so where is the name? That name come from these days, the king of the shit, from the really Christmas. All these some crazy and angry story, right? But my father's boss, do not feels of any care. He just always talk about where is the every shit is all going on the station. It's not where people I can't understand. Why? Just a thing they can't say, and they do not say to my father because of this angry story. So I really, really confused, and I don't want just to stay in this story anymore. Flights. Listen to me next. Every night, or in the yard, every night or morning, they are all surrounded in my house. The reason that's because of the crazy smell in the shit. All of the smell necessaries. All of these just flights surrounded our house. They go on the yard, they go on everywhere. If someone want to find our house, it's not easy. If someone ask finding my house, there is just one reply answer, with just same answer. Just go to the house have a lot of lights and bad smells. Yes, that's why my father and all of the house is really be hated by a lot. My neighbors never. Yes, just no one is not only my neighbors. And they do not like the flights. Sometimes they are crazy because of flights. Yes, but my father, when he wants them not to be angry, he can give them a lot of, like tomatoes or maybe some potatoes that really big and really delicious. They are really like this, but they are so maybe like confused when they can't imagine of something. The really truth. There's sometimes that they can't imagine and they can't stand in it. Is the where all the day my father mixture of he makes a mixture of a really bad smell. Yes, the 72 shit. The type 72. Yes, of course, this is not every with your mind, but with me. When I just hear the word 72, yes, it means I nearly die. You have to confuse. It's not really like the normal one. That's just a story. Please, just not only the flights you are caring about. The what you want is just going in this. All of the 72 type of the shit. My father taking in a big box in the courtyard, but behind just of my house, there is more than 200 box. Really, all of the shit is bad smell. A lot of flights is going there. Every types just have the flights, and which is so be amazed. All of the flights going, but the worst smell usually have to take in the far away from the house after the big things in the surrounded. My neighbor Farley is nearly like he do not like us. He never talk to us. I don't know why, and he really angry is with everything. But the reason cannot be shown. Every stories I've started in the mixture of 72. That's the most, the worst smell that my father make it up before. It there's a lot of, it's sometimes become really making a lot of shit that I bring for him. There's some types of rabbit shit, some types of mouse or kangaroo shit, and some types of fox shit, and just a little of cow shit. My father and get there a big types of, oh my goodness, that make me feel when I talk about it, it's so be amazed that tell just a story of the ways. That's also do not how exchange of the minutes happen new ways. My father can take his there's a big chance of, really, really like tomato. So all of the shit have the really mixture with in yellow's color. Can you imagine that? A box of full of shit with one of the tomato, really big tomato there. And you know what I call that? Yes, the shit. All of the every sensations is called the cookie shit. And this is the very, very bad smell shit, a mixture of very bad smell. This is maybe the worst of my father making before to now. He said, no, don't worry about this. All is too bad smell. It's have a lot of situation and help us a lot. With this, I can make the biggest potato or the biggest tomato. And he take the pen and write into the cookie shit in the box. Yes. So that's from this. We have two nicknames, the cookie shit and the king of shit. All of is care about shit and flights. There's a lot of flights is going there. A lot. It is. And I know, really, I just think of one that I will stay in my house. Of course, that's so difficult just to stay. It's make me feel bad. All of the bad smell is really going into my nose. Yes, I smell it when I just staying on the bed. And these things is in the behind of the house, which is really far. I just still can smell that. It's far away from me, more than 100 meters. You think of that? All, of course, every time, all the neighbors is really angry. In the next morning, I wake up early, and I feel there's something not good and not fine. This, all of my body have the, like really smell, and I want kicking out. My breathing is not good like before, and it's make me feel constructible. The minutes is not important because this lesson is so long just to talking in. This is the smell of the shit. And I haven't had it before with this terrible smell this terrible smell. It's make me feel ease like when I have been fight. We have the feeling of when we smell that. Every time we smell that, sometimes someone fight in me with a strongly voice and hachicals. I stop my nose and I look at the windows. All of our neighbors is surrounded our house. No one can sleep. Everyone is wearing like pyjama and just use a big shirt to really making the nose is smaller. That's the story of me. Someone is breathe and fight crowd, and some want to call my family. Some really have the fight in their hand with the really angry face. I wake my father up. Of course, maybe my nose of my father is really low and not good, so that's why he can just sleep now. He looked out of the windows and he told really surprised. Oh, so strange. Why I can't see, look great. Why can't I see any flies? Yes, my father do not care about the people around our house. He just care about the flies. I can't understand. But really, his comment and his situations is really right. There are no flies. They are all die. Everywhere there's a lot of dead flies. Flies is all the yard, all every corner, all the street, and it's like the new types of dead flies with black things and really crazy smell around our house. You know, this smell and these bad things, it's too terrible. Yes, it's terrible like when the flies is dead. I told for my dad, oh, you have to do something, Dad. Maybe this is a toxic, a really dangerous toxic. All of the people is angry of our. Yes, you have to do something, Dad. You are right, Greg, my father said. You can stay there. I will go outside and see what I can do. Yes. He go outside and I can hear the sound of his crazy leg when he taking in the red flies. I look at him from the far in after the windows. He drive the new types. No, he drive his new truck. It's not really new, but he just bought 3 months ago his new truck and going out in the scone yard behind, and he want to carry these cookies. Oh my goodness, the nickname, the cookie shit. He want to carry that to the beach, but it's so heavy, so only him just can't do. So he take all of the shit from these big things to the smaller, and he take it all on the truck. Yes, finally, he go in the house and he say, Greg, I have to carry that in the beach. I can't do anything more. You stay at home and wait for me, please? Yes, you can stay there. Here, I will go. So that things you don't need to tell. Actually, I don't have all of the destinations, and I don't really can't come to his truck now. But really, it seems that I see a really terrible things. Very, very terrible. Goodness, I said. Oh no, Father, look at your head, I shouted. His head don't have any hair. Yes, all the things is always be bad. Now he's bad. This type of mixture of shit, it's so strong. It's really strong. It's a different way. Yes, my father jumped in the truck and go out of the yard, really the house. I look at the truck and in the last of the road, everywhere don't have people. Everyone is terrible and go on the house to take all of his smell on the pillow and don't want to smell these things. It's terrible smell. All of the dog barking really, really destinations when my father's truck is passing this. He take all of these on where it's running out of the beach. So the terrible things happen too. 2 weeks later, all of the dead fish is already in the beach. So my new cities have a new nickname now. The Mineral City. Look! Someone calls the Mineral Beach from outside of these cities. All really a lot of people live there by the taking. So by the fishing. Because of that, they are really angry with my father that killing all of the fish of them. So all of the Sunli as because of that, all of the people in the street really hated my father. Because all of the week after, the smell is also really terrible. So he continues to take all of the vegetable, come for our neighbors, and making these become no angry. But my neighbor's Jackson's is next to our house. Decline, do not reply. I don't need your vegetable now. I don't want to smell your crazy and terrible shit in your house. Why don't you come back to another where and make a new house? Yes, at this time, you are so smell and dirty and everywhere. Yes, no one care about you. Go out of these cities. Ridiculous. These are cities, and that's not your house that you can take all of the shit and make these cities become new or more crazy. Get out! Yes, all of this, Jackson is really right. Really, myself, it's feel bad with this. All of the school people in here call me the king of the shit. That's not a really good nickname. But now, just stating on this, really, really good situation, I just tell this story about me before you again. Every time and everywhere, every people know where is my house. There's a lot of house next to my house is want to sell their house and don't want to stay there anymore. Every people want to get out of this place and no one play with us. One day I told for my dad, Dad, that's terrible. I think we should go to another place. We will go to the countryside. This time I shouldn't have to go far to take the shit. And this time you don't have any neighbors and you don't have anything which is hate of me. But my dad's just very, very sad and told me, No, Greg, I just really want things like that. But my house don't have any money. Yes, one of the house in the countryside is so big. But my house don't have too much money just like. We have to stay here, Greg. But that's one thing I swear with you. I swear. I will make a new type of shit mixture. Don't have any smell. I swear. And I can make that in the rules of 100s, the type 100s. This shit will not have any smell and I just use that. I shake my head and go in another place. Oh, poor my father. Really, he has the really good thing. But the real things that I can't believe and I won't believe that people can make the new types of shit don't have smell. Yes, do you believe? Yes, of course. Everyone won't believe. But of course you have to believe. That's why I just stay in this situation. The air conditioner is looking on me and I am looking out of my swimming pool with looking at my father is cleaning the new car of Rolls Royce. Yes, the Rolls Royce? A really expensive one. I just stay there with the really new type of modern air conditioner and looking outside with a new swimming pool is just making before. And that's why situation I have to tell you all of my story about this. This make me feel much more better just to tell. The next is our stories, which is just I do not believe that my father can make that. And I do not believe that everyone can make that. Of course you don't believe too, but you have to believe. So the next, every days later, every month later, my father do every experiment just to find the new types of type 100 shit. He take the flower, he take, perfume, or sometimes he take just one more than about. But it can't be. Just take all of the crazy smell. Terrible. All of our house just very bad smell. Especially the car usually go to take the student, do not go to our house. But there's a new type, a really good things. My father's had, in his head before, when he's taking the 172 type of shit, he lost all their hair. But now, his hair do not be suspect and really, really preparing, grow up again, really black and really much. But there's one day, a really things happen. I now really have to believe that things. One day, he make a new mixture of shit in the rules of 100. And the real things, that this type of mixture shit don't have any smell. It's usually just normal and especially opposite with the 72 type. Yes, I usually feel very congratulations to my father. Oh my God, Father! So amazing! How can you do that? I shouted a lot of, you know. And now, as I imagine, from now I feel that my house don't have any more problem in doing that. Yes, my father believed too, and we do that a lot of things just to describe, and eat a lot of new food, and want to just be the congratulation of this. But we are grown. These 100, really, this only one can't just stay in bad smells anymore. These don't have smell, but these 100 type cause a new problem. And this problem will not be like any smell or something like. And that may be the biggest and the most causal problem from the before to now. The big problem that's very, very making things become terrible and destroyable. Please, when I hear about that, does not still be staying there and just think about. That's really good. But this problem is not just stay there and look at another thing. People says, everyone can't smell this type of shit. But another problem happened with my family. And that's happened will not be causing any more things. And from these things happen, we will have another situation. The real thing is they can smell this type of shit. But, the real thing happened one cause again. Really, people can't smell that. But the flies can smell. Is where the flies is better. The nose of flies is better than us. It's like the dog that they can hear some sound that people can't hear. That situation is okay. The flies can smell this type of shit in the rule 100, but people is not. And from this problem, there's a new types of happening. So, because of that, it can smell. So, more than 1,000 and thousand of flies come to here. Maybe more than 1 million or 1 billion types. It's so much flights. More than 1 billion flights. Can you imagine that? Yes, it's so some amazing. The flights is really flight all on the sky. All of his things or his sound is so terrible. It's going our face, going our ears, going our nose. It's flight, and the sunlight is off. What's problem in where it's the noon? In the really noon that all of the sky is dark because of lights. This time my father and me is working in the backyard. All of the flight is so amazing, and just a lot of time we can't see the house and our things. Especially I can't see this type of lights. Of course, this amazing, and maybe if someone can take a picture of that, we can see these better things, and we'll be really, really famous just because the picture. The flights, really, really fly all around the sky. And these, I can't see my father because it's too much and it's too dark. So my father called me, Greg, where are you? Very loudly. Go to your house. Down and outside, it's too dangerous. I don't know why there's too much flies like that. Go to our house. Quickly, Greg. Yes, I don't know where's my father, because everything is become the dark of lights. I look down the land. The flight is as much as that I can't really see my leg. Yes, I just can do a lot of things of my eyes, just because of the flights do not taking in our eyes. I go in our house directions and boom. Yes, I touch and really, really carefully and especially powerful touch in the chuck. Yes, I just have to feel that because I touch this. When I think that I'm wrong in the way, I have to turn around and hear the voice of my father in the sounds of the million of Greg. Greg, this way. Yes, I'm really slow going to where is the sound of the direction that I don't have to be in falling down. Yes, for a lot of time, I just can go to my father's place. I just can't see him, and just I can touch him. Now he's standing at the door. Listen, Greg. When I going and I say going inside, you have to run as fast as you can to the house, and I will close the door rightly. Yes, I hear my father says, go! Yes, and all of us is run as fast as and falls into the house. I can't see anything, but I just can see there's a big sounds of the door is closed, really powerful. My father say, turn on the lamp. I turn the lamp. In my house, there's a lot of flies, but it's not as much as like in our side. I look at the windows. There's a lot of flies going on the glass. He said, you go and taking all of the whole of the house, every windows, every door. I will close the wares, and there are no flies just going into our house anymore. Yes, I take a lot of things and fall in the holes. My father take a big things of paper and take every situational. He finds some types of spray to kill the spray of where it can kill the flies. You know that? Really, I think. My father always have to use. So we have a lot of, the really left with these. We have to use three things. Not only just one. 3 spray that can make it can't move anymore. Yes, we go upstairs and look out of the window. But every window is, dark. It's really dark. So, my father and me just be staying there in the house that all of the side there's more than 1 billion of flies. Of course, my father and me is really worried about. He said, oh, so dangerous, my son. Maybe this type 100 is too powerful. It's like all of the flights from all of our countries going here. That's my fault. We have to kill it rightly. How? Now, this time, there is, a really telephone rang. My father taking the chase. This is Jackson, Mr. Jackson. He shouted. I can hear all of his talking, and anytime all of the flights have the sound of this outside. Are you crazy? All of the cities there's a lot of flights. Yes, no one can go out of sight because just of lights. No one can open the door. At noon and everything is dark because of lights. It's all because of you and your crazy shades. The mixture of shit. You have to do something. You have to set that be. Now, how can you do that? Get it out. Do not make any problem to us. Yes, and he took the phones off. My father just ardent. What can we do? How can we throw that away? He's thinking. I'm really feel bad with my father. Yes, I'm really love him. We just sit there and very quietly. And beside there's more than a flight outside. I had to say with my father, can we use spray? We should use spray, father. No, Greg. With these things, with these, flags. So if you take all of the spray of all of the world, it's not enough. We have to have something is better and is powerful and more destroyed. My father looked at me and I look at him, really together. At this time, we just have one way to do. All of us shouted, the cookie shit! can kill the flies, I shouted. Radley, my father said, the smell of this cookie sheet is so powerful that it can kill all of this type of flies. I have to mix it in a really big things of 72 shit. But it's too it's smelling really bad. There are no more ways, Greg. It's not good. All of the cities is dark because of lights. We have to do something just to kill us. But how can you do that? All of the flights is dark outside. Yes, everything. How can you do? Yes, he sat down and looked at each other. Do not have hard to do, but he have a really good idea. Yes, Greg, I can take something like where you can go down. You know this? There's some more time my father, he grew up and he was born new type of bee. Yes, so he can have all of that. These really three things. Yes, Greg, I can take the bee's equipment. Yes, good choice, I said. But only me. What I have to do? Only you can't do. Yes, I have two. Do you remember? We have two. Yes, you can take that and go outside. Yes. And we go to get dressed. My father take the hat and take all of the things, and I do like him. I think that it's so crazy and that's really not like normal people. But as my father say, no, we can do nothing. We have to rescue the world. And just every time my father told me when I was a child, which is really bad things happen. So two of us, everyone take a rope that we do not be selected of each other. We will not lost and open the door going out. All of the big cloud of lights going into our house. And rightly, everything is dark. Actually, the lamp is still light, but no one thinks there's a light. Yes, I in the one side of the rope, and another side is breaking off. My father is going to the backyard. I can't see him, so I just go to the rope and go in out of the wall of the flights. We go slow, really slow and slow. At last, we go to the backyard. My father's hand touched me. He says something, but it's not clearly because all of his voice is going into the flights, the sound of flights of the flights. I think, really he's saying, help me, put the thing, I really remember, but it's like, help me put all of these sheets mixture of 100 and we have to pour more than 15 bucks off. And then we have to mix, at least 16 of the cookie sheet. So that will have the problem. And that will kill all of the sheet in all over the world. Yes, like my father saying like that. So we go to where is the mixture sheet in 100. All the sheets is by attention just in here. Very dark. They taking like a new type of river. And I have to do that in this river of lights. I put my hand up and I push a really big, like box of shit in 100. And rightly, there's more than a millions of lights really have the shows of sense. All of their voice making me feel badly in the head. And all of the wing of them go take in a big things that making the winds and make we are falling down at the Scottyard. So my father told me that's going from this, and we waste a lot of time. We can take all of 15 mixture of 100 shit. Now, my father's hand touched me again and say, now, we don't have more time. Now, mixture more than 16 of the cookies sheet. Waste a lot of time. We have to fast. Maybe The sheet of all of the England is going here. I say with a afraid voice. Oh, I'm afraid. What's wrong if I lost and I died in these big rivers of these things? Yes, my father with a small voice. Yes, you have to go in where the yard ends. It's just you can't lost. Take all of the sheet on where's the car. And when any box have 10 box, all of another I will do after. Yes, I know, my father is afraid. I go on the Scottyard and go to where the sheet is taking in. It's wasted a lot of time as I finish change from 16 things the box of the show crazy things and crazy terrible shit. All of the flights really dark deep and have those crazy voids. I have the feeling that someone is throwing all of the rights or anything in our face. I and my father touching really powerful. And I don't know, my father take any of big things in the box. Yet sometimes, really I hear that my father for a big tomatoes in my hand. And after a lot of times trying our best just to help, one really crazy smell going into the air. I shouted, congratulations! We are success! Yes, I feel really good and especially it smelled bad whenever and now it will kill all of the flies. Now the flight it still become so dark and so really there's a lot of things but it don't have any proof that it can smaller. Yes, my father go into near me and say, you have to go to home. If it's success, all of the flights will really die with a lot of face in there. If you do not pay attention, you have to be killed in this a lot of river of flights. If we waste a lot of time, more than before, yes, we just can do 10 box of the cookies shit. All of the bad smell is going to another, and I am really terribly hated that. But there are no more ways. Yes, in the next things, where it's in the 12 box of cookie shit, I can't do anymore. We are really tired. My dad said, I can't do anything more. We have to stop. If not, we will die here. I looked at in the really things and I shouted, Dad! Dad! I can see you, Dad! Oh! Yes, I can see you! And my dad replied again, oh, really amazing. I can see you too, Greg. Yes, the real things that I can see, the really small and really, the sticking shape of my father. That means that all of the sheet is reduced before like cars. So, why this type if the cookie sheet is really have good things to do. So, I can see in the really have a dark sheet of river of dead flies. There's a lot of dead is just going looking on the sky. On the grass is just full of everywhere is full of flies. I can say everyone, not only me, can say that out of the sky there's a fly and it says not only like before, a really rain of flies. My father say with the really afraid voice, come in, Greg, if not we will die there. We are walking, like running really fast into house. All of the flight of, very much flights. If you can imagine my feeling in that day, you want to try it really. Of course, this really amazing and that's make me feel afraid, but really making things become more good, better, and you feel that very good. Everything can go into our fears, the leg. My father is the first where go into the, he go. And my father's going to first step to the door and take all of crazy and died dead before. It's not only the flights, but now it's the dead flights. Yes, and I shouted, help me, Dad! Yes, because why? I'm falling in the big type of death. Which really, really falls. It's like where I'm just falling down in a swimming pool. Yes, I am falling down in a big things, the river of dead flies, to my mouth. And then, all the flies just falling down, like the really river or the stream. But I don't want to really die in this type. But I can't move. Why? Because there's just a lot of that's all falling into our hand, our bodies, that I can't move anymore. My father just look in the rope and taking all of the head. I say, help me, I nearly die. Please help, Dad. Right this time, all of the flights, the dead flight is going up very fast, and it's going into my eyes. My father going to me, and it's so dark deep that I am in this crazy or big river of dead flies, huge one. It's really lucky that my father is, really ready for that. But I still can breathe. So just after one more seconds, there's a big hand, really huge and powerful hand, taking my hand and take me away out of this crazy. I really falls down and really hurt. It's my father's hand. He used all of his power and taking me of that mountains of flags and taking me to the house and closed the door. In the house, the situation is better. Yes, in there, the flight is just more than it's just higher. Really become the truth. Here it's just higher than the leg, and it's not really become through the wings. Here it's just become not like before. At least I can still walk through that really easy. Why? Because it's just go in our knee. It's not higher. The knee. But it's just still be like water outside and really, really afraid. My father and me hurry up, going on the stairs and look outside the windows. The rain of flights is just still so, but it's so more normal, and for a lot of time, no flights can alive with this type of the cookie shit. All of these that more than 12 box of these things. Yes, all of these can kill all huge things of these terrible flights. But the really bad smell that I can't say to you, because if you want to imagine that, go and my father can mix this to you. Now maybe I forget the rules of it, but my father maybe still remember. Why? He have a box. No, really, he have, of course I told you the truth that he have a big things like the book. Yes, a really notebook that he write a lot of rules to make the shit again. The truth is all of my house is going on the side. Here I can see everything's on the street. The dead flight is going all of the house, the door, road, cars, trees, and every garden. Everywhere just I can see the dead flights. Yes, all of the town cities of London is look like a really snow. Of course, it look like really it have snow, but the real thing that is not the white snow like any cold countries. But now it's not white, it's black snow and crazy snow and make everyone angry. I look really far away and I see a lot of people. Maybe it's in their house. All of the town is in the quiet and dark. And there are no voice. Just one crazy smell is just going outside everywhere. My father, and he rightly told, Greg, all of your hair is lost. Yes, my father said. I take my hand to the head and I go before the mirror. Oh my God! Yes, the real thing is that I don't have any hair. I look at my dad and he don't have any hair, and all of the new hair, it's all be phones. Oh my goodness, Dad! You know, this cookie sheet is too powerful. All of our hair is lost. One modern time, I look at the windows. A road. There's more than 3 people is to taking all of the flights out of the gate. That's not easy. Because why? They are stand on where the flights is going in there. Where? What you can imagine. Yes, the flight, all of the flights, the dead flights, is more than their nose when he stand rightly and straight one. It's more than their stomach. It's not easy, and I know. There's all of the things I seem it's really different, but I don't know why. And long time I just can see all of them are really bad and don't have any hair. Now it seems that there will be some crazy things happen in our house. Just a little time more, I can hear a new types of equipment. At first, it's like a machine, but after, it's the really big car. I don't know what is this car, but this car it's like a really car that can make all of the flights going away. It's really make choice can make in, the equipment making in building it can use to build the centers or build building outside, and that's help. They are cleaning the road for the car is going, and all of the dead flights. There's a lot in our road, in really weird. After is there's a police car, really big police car. All of the car is really fastly going into our house. Beside and behind them, there's a lot of crowded people. Woman, man, and child. Everyone don't have any hair. They are bald, and they just very angry and shouted. It stopped, beside my house. And really strange things just more than a hat. There is a way, just stop in front of my house and take a left into the garden, making this in the gate and stop. There's a bad police going out of where we are driving. There's a hand. He take the where to use, taking all of his nose and go into the house, and he shouted at me, quickly, all of you! You have to go to the car rightly. They are nearly have really crowded people going into your house. If they can touch you, I can't do anything to protect you. He will kill you into 100 pieces of your body. All the police and us are really worried about. After, he take me into the car, and really the car going into the old road. All of the bad people staying on another road want to keep the car around, and sometimes just take a lot of stone and throw to the car. Yes, and really, they are too angry with us, and I really understand that we are so angry like. All of them are bad, especially the dog or the cat don't have any things on their body. All of the town don't have anyone who just have a new hair on their head. But at last, the police just rescue me and bring me to a new, really far away. Yes, he bring me to Manburg. You know this? Manburg. Yes, it's really far from here. And they take us down there. And I really pay attention. And I don't have anything to think that how can we live there. But there's just one thing that I'm sure that I never have ways to see before my place of the king of shit before. All of the everything on the internet, all of newspaper and everything, which have a lot of news about noisy, about these really crazy flights. It's so crazy. My dad and me change our name and change our, really hair and face and a lot of other things that no one can see our new ways of before us. For a lot of time the story is past and no one can remember. For a lot of time the normal and because of everyone don't have any hair is bad. So the fake hair is also really rarely. It's really time in Australia or in London, sorry. And so just because of 3 months later, everyone have hair. And more than times going up, there's a lot of people just